Everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 40. In this lesson, we will teach the student how to scoop syllables. Let's get started by setting up the table. You'll need the top 160 sight word list, the sight word study method instruction sheet, the card pack on which the student is currently working, some blank index cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the short vowel drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the keyword pictures, and the keyword sentence. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the card pack. You'll have to cut out the cards in advance for the syllable card drill. And moving on to the magnetic letter tile drills for reading and spelling, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the cookie tile with the rainbow, with the letters spread in a rainbow shape. Then we'll have the syllable pounding sheet, that's the instruction sheet for the teacher, the new phoneme, grapheme, kinesthetic discovery instruction sheet, and these sheets for the lesson. You'll see that how to scoop syllables is one that we don't usually have. It's part of the new content part of the lesson. And then you'll have your old regulars like the word list, the short story, and the 3 sentences for the writing portion of the lesson. In addition to all of that, you're going to have to cut out the CH-TCH sort cards. We have 3 sorts today. The KCK sort is the second one. And then the next one is the FLSZ doubling rule sort. In addition to all of that, you might have a timer on the table. This would be for if the student is ready to work on fluency. Once they have strong phonemic awareness and decoding skills, it's time to move up the reading pyramid and work on fluency. You have to add a secondary program to your lessons at this point. So you could add in the 6-minute reading solution or read naturally. If you'd like to learn more about this, go to lesson 33 where I discuss it at the beginning of the lesson. Let's begin with the sight word study method. Student, I'd like you to take out your card pack. Read through each card. When you get a word correct, you will put a check mark in the corner of the index card. Once you read through them all, you will give the card pack to your teacher, and then it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher reads the card and you write down each word. When you get one correct, you will put a check mark in the other corner of the index card to indicate that. And teacher, you are ready with blocking strategies for if the student encounters difficulties. Once you're finished, have a quick discussion about which of those words is mastered. If any are mastered, you can remove them from the card pack. This leaves space in the pack. So now, if there's time, you can introduce a new sight word. Let's do the short vowel drill. You'll take out your keyword pictures and your keyword sentence. For this one, you take 2 fingers and you trace the keyword shape, saying the keyword as you do it. So it could be apple, and then you underline it and say the target sound, which is ah. Do that as many times as your teacher deems necessary, and you'll work through all the short vowel sounds and keyword pictures. And then you'll take out that keyword sentence and you'll say the sentence, stretching out each vowel sound as you say it. It's time for the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you're going to need your colored tiles for this one. I'm going to tell you that your word is desk. Can you repeat that word? Now let's use it in a sentence. I might say, I am sitting at a desk. What's your sentence? Okay, now build the word desk with your colored tiles. All right, tap it and say it to make sure you have all your sounds. Do you have 4 different colors down there? If you do, that's right. D-E-S-K. Okay, if that's desk, I would like you to find the E in desk. Can you touch the E? Okay, now change E into I. Tap it and say it. What's your new word? Did you say disc? If you did, that's correct. Now find the I in disc. Change the I into an What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get dusk? When the sun goes down, it's starting to be dusk. If you did, that's right. Okay, if that's dusk, could you find the s in dusk and put your finger on it? I would like you to change the s in dusk to a n. Then tap it and say it. What's your new word? Did you get dunk? If you did, that's right. Find the d in dunk. I want you to change the d into a ul. Tap it and say it. What's your new word? Did you get lunk? If you did, that's right. Let's change it into a word that you'll know. Add a p to the front of lunk. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you get plunk? You could say that the rock went plunk into the lake when I threw it. Okay, great job. You can put your tiles away. Let's do the visual drill. Student, you're going to have to take out your card pack for this one. The teacher flashes a card, and the student says the sounds. So what are the sounds of this symbol? There's two. Did you say th and th? Th as in the, and th as in thump? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards and then come back to me. We'll use the same card pack for the auditory drill. In this one, the teacher has the card pack and doesn't show the symbol yet to the student. The teacher says, your sound is ch. Can you repeat that sound? Now, what ways do you know to write ch? Think of as many different ways as you can. Say ch as you write them, and then underline it and say the sound again. Then it's time to check your work. Did you get CH and TCH? Those are the two ways that we know to write ch. Okay, teacher, you can do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this fashion and then come back to me. Let's do the syllable card drill. Your teacher has this one all set up on the table for you. You're going to read down the syllables in the first column, and then read down the syllables in the second column, and then you're going to read across the rows. They'll sound like nonsense words when you read across. Then it's time to unscramble. So you'll take those syllables in column number 2 and unscramble them so that when they join with the ones in column number 1, they're going to make real words. As you do this, you're talking about the meanings of the new words that you are creating, and you can even put some of those words into sentences. Let's do some syllable pounding. Student, this is where you stretch out your arm, and every time you hear a syllable when I say a word, you're going to pound out the syllable like with your fingers. If that method is not your favorite one, you could put your hand under your chin. Every time a syllable is created, our jaw drops. Shawna. So there's 2 in my name. Okay, are you ready? Your word is pumpkin. How many syllables are in pumpkin? Did you say 2? Pumpkin. That's what I get. I hear the and the I. What we're doing is we're listening for the vowel sounds. Okay, how about this one? Astonish. How many syllables in that one? Did you say 3? If you did, that's correct. How about this word? Fit. Okay, I hear 1. I hear the I in fit. How about misfit? I hear 2 in that one, an I and an I. Misfit. Here's your last one, volcanic. How many syllables? Did you say 3? If you did, that's right. Let's move on. We're going to do the TCH-CH sort. Your teacher has some cards set up on the table. You'll have 2 headings in front of you, CH and TCH. Your teacher has the cards and is not showing you the cards right now. The teacher reads a word. So for example, I could say your word is ranch. And I'd like you to tap that out. You'll go ch. And then tell me, is it a CH or TCH situation? Remember that when we have a one-syllable word and you hear that short vowel directly followed by the CH, we need to insert that T. CH does not like to be a babysitter, so T steps in and says, I'll be the babysitter, no problem. So is that a situation where we need it? A, N, ch. Well, I hear the N right after that short vowel. So that already has a babysitter that's separating CH from the short vowel. So we're good. So then the teacher would show you that card and you could place it under CH. Okay, do that now for as many cards as your teacher deems necessary because your teacher's keeping an eye on the time. And then come back to me. We've been talking about the doubling rule for the letters F, L, S, and Z. And we have a rule card to help us remember this, and we also have a keyword sentence, Jeff will pass Buzz. Take a moment to take those things out and have a quick discussion with your teacher about how this rule works. Then you can do the sort, and you can sort the words under the correct headings. Another rule that we've been discussing is the CK rule. Can you take out your rule card for the CK rule? It has a milk truck on it. And have a quick discussion with your teacher about how this rule works. You can use this word to help you. Why is this word spelled correctly? When you finish with that, you can do the syllable card sort. Let's move on to the new content part of the lesson. Student, today we're going to learn how to scoop syllables. Scooping syllables is a great thing to work on because it helps us to hear the different parts in the word. When we get to those bigger words, the multi-syllable words, it's especially useful. We can identify the different parts of the word and start to hear those really common beginnings and common endings and zero in on the middle part of the word where the base usually is, the main meaning of the word. And it'll make it a lot easier for us to read and write those big words. We'll start off with one-syllable words, and then very quickly we'll move on to the bigger syllables, the 2- and 3-syllable words. So what you're going to need is the How to Scoop Syllables sheet. You can take that one out. And you'll need the Scooping Syllables worksheet number 1. Let's start with this word here, and we'll just run through the steps in how to scoop syllables. It's a good thing to show, right? So you've got that word HIT. And if this was a big word, we'd be talking about, am I looking at a base, prefix, or suffix? But if it's just one syllable, then we know we're just looking at a base there. So we're going to put a dot under the vowel. So right now, grab a pencil, and you have the word hit on your sheet, and you're going to find the vowel and put a dot under it. So there you go. I'm just going to lead you through every step so you can know exactly what you're doing. Okay, you've got your dot there. And then we're going to scoop the word. And what I mean by scooping, you can do this with a round feel to it, or you can make it look like a rectangle. But we're just going to make a line that goes from the beginning of the syllable to the end of the syllable. Okay, so we've identified our syllable. Now we want to say what type of syllable is that? Because we know that there's 7 types of syllables. We've only worked on one syllable type so far. So for now, until we have our second syllable type introduced, it'll always be the same type. So this has one vowel followed by a consonant. So we know what that is. Can you tell your teacher what syllable type that is? It's closed, isn't it? So you're going to write a C underneath to say closed. My C didn't work out very well there. And then we have to say what type of vowel sound is the vowel making. Well, in a closed syllable, it will always make its short sound. You know, the apple, Eddie, itchy, olive, up sounds. To show that this is a short sound, we make a special symbol. Looks like a smiley face without the eyes. So just like a smile. That's the short vowel sign. Okay, so now we're ready to read this because we've got everything mapped out. So can you tap it and say it? It hit. Great work. So that is how you do it. Let's try another one. So I will let you choose which one you would like to do from the Scooping Syllables worksheet number 1 page. Choose a 1-syllable one. And there are ones that are actual words and ones that are only part of words. So they won't make a word on their own, some of these 1-syllable ones. Do that now, and then after you do that, you can check your work with your teacher. And if your teacher feels like, and you feel like you want to try a 2-syllable or even a 3-syllable word, then you can do that. But I'll just say that if this was Hitman, I would just do exactly the same thing. So I dot under scoop. So it just looks bigger, but it's the same process. Okay, work on that. And your teacher's keeping an eye on the time, so you're not going to get the whole sheet done, of course. You just have time to do a few. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. You'll need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your sound is S. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The next sound is T. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The next sound is one of those closed syllable exceptions that we worked on. This one is ink. Can you repeat that? Okay, now you're going to need multiple tiles for this one. What tiles make the sound ink? Find them and pull them to the middle. Now tap it and say the word. Did you get stink? As in, that's a terrible smell. It stinks. Okay, put your tiles away and let's get ready for a new word. Okay, your sound is B. Can you repeat that sound? Find the tile for B and pull it to the middle. Your next sound is Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. The last sound is K. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. And then tap it and say it. Did you get buck? If you did, that's right. If there's time, your teacher can do 1 or 2 more words with you using the magnetic letter tile drill. And if not, then let's move on. You will read the single word list, then you'll read the story. And if your teacher has added a fluency timed reading part of the lesson, then it'll come in after that. Do all that and then come back to me. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. Student, you'll need your magnetic letter tile board with the letters spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your word is clock. Can you repeat that word? Okay, what's the first sound that you hear in clock? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in clock? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in clock? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in clock? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now think about any spelling rules that need to get applied. Tap it and say the word. Did you spell that one C-L-O-C-K? If you did, that's right. Okay, put your tiles away and let's try again. Your word is hunk. Can you repeat that word? Okay, I might say, I would like a hunk of bread, like a portion of the bread. Okay, what's the first sound that you hear in hunk? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hunk? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hunk? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in hunk? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now apply any spelling rules that need to get applied. And tap it and say it. Did you spell it H-U-N-K? If you did, that's right. Okay, let's try tapping and writing some words. So student, you're going to need some lined paper for this one and a pencil. You can choose to tap the word out and say the sounds as you tap, then grab the word and pull the whole word and say the whole word. Or you could trace on your body. So I would trace the letter and say the sound the letter makes. And then after I finish, I grab all the words just like the other method and say the whole word. And then you write it down. Your word is lick. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will lick the ice cream cone. Lick. So tap it or trace it, saying the sounds. Go through that process and then write it down. Teacher, you can check the work. Okay, did you get L-I-C-K? If you did, that's right. And try this one, slunk. Slunk. Okay, and your last one would be pick. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will pick a strawberry. Okay, tap it or trace it, and then write it down. All right, there's just 3 sentences left. So teacher, you can read the 3 sentences and let the student choose the 2 that will be written. And student, after you finish writing a sentence, I'd like you to use CHOPS to check your work. Let's do a quick review before you go. We've been talking about the TCH rule. Student, is this word spelled correctly? Tell your teacher why you believe this is spelled correctly or incorrectly, based on what you know about the TCH rule. Let's do a quick review of the Jeff will pass Buzz rule. Student, is this one spelled correctly? Explain to your teacher why this word is either spelled correctly or incorrectly, and then say how it should be spelled if it's wrong. Tap it and say it to read the whole word as well. Been working on the CK rule. I'm wondering, student, is this word spelled correctly? If it's not, how should it be spelled? And tap it and say it to know what the word actually is. Have a quick discussion with your teacher about this word. Okay, the answer was this is spelled incorrectly because we need a CK on that one. Great job today. This is the end of lesson 40. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.